Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to be making some custom hinges for the hood of the hot rod. So I've already gotten a little bit of a head start and made this piece first, but then I stopped myself because I figured you guys want to see. So what we're starting with is a piece of angle iron. I've already marked and drilled the hole. It's going to go like this. This is going to be an exterior hinge. Bolts right here, bolts right there. Obviously originally this is kind of a butterfly shaped hood, so it opens like this and like that. But I got rid of the hinge in the middle and bolted it together. And we're just going to make it open like normal modern style. So basically we're going to follow this. We're basically going to make a kind of a matching piece to this out of this piece of angle. So I've got my hole drilled nice in the center. Traced out my line. We're just going to make a nice long taper. And then on the top side we are going to kind of cut it a little bit short because we don't want any material right here because it'll kind of foul on the gap and it'll kind of hit the cowl. Then I'm going to put a couple of bolt holes in it, and I'm also going to shape this kind of like this. I was thinking kind of a rounded bit, but the more I think about it, I'm going to have a really sharp pointy taper here. I kind of want to have a similar shape from the top side. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get to it. So I had also matched this up and drilled a hole in the other piece because we're going to want two matching ones, one for the left side and one for the right side. So the first thing we're actually going to do is line these up. This should be flush to this. So I'm flushing that edge up. We are going to flip it like so. I'm actually going to use this cutting mat a little bit to eyeball. Make that nice and square, and I'm getting the center line of the holes through one of those lines. So that's nice and lined up. And we're going to clamp. Because our next step is we are going to mark our holes. Roughly there and roughly there. They're going to bolt into our hood. And then we can drill those two holes, because once we drill those two holes we can put a bolt through them, and then we can hold these nice and together while we make this profile as one. That way we're not worried about, say, making one a little bit different than the other, because when they're bolted together, the holes line up, we know they're going to be nice and symmetric. I think I may have forgotten to hit record. But holes drilled. But now with our holes drilled, going to do a little bit of deburring first. This little deburring tool is just fantastic. Highly recommend. Now we can take some 1/4-inch bolts, some tiny ones, and bolt those two halves together. And then we can make our cuts. Alright, ran out of battery with the good camera, but basically we can now bolt these together. And now we can cut with the cutoff disc and then bring them over to the bench grinder, and we don't have to keep them clamped together, and we'll know that they are nice and symmetrical. Even this surface is nice and perfectly flush because we took our time. So yeah, let's throw this up in the vise going to take the old angle grinder, I'm going to trim that off, and then start shaping this. Okay, so got it unbolted. This is kind of the rough shape of the first profile. So that's going to be what bolts to the hood. Now we've got to do this guy. So same idea, just going to bolt that together. I won't be able to bolt it up here, but I can clamp it. So we're going to bolt that together and just do the same thing and cut along that line. And then also kind of trim around here. Alright, so here's another kind of rough cut. Sliced that guy off, and then I also took a little chunk out of right here because we need that to be missing for the so it doesn't hit the cowl. And then I lopped those corners off, so now we're just going to take it over to the bench grinder and kind of smooth all of that out. Okay, so there we go with our first round of grinding. Had a little bit of an accident right there. Looks like that got stuck in the grinder. No biggie. I should be able to smooth that out. Got a decent radius on that end. So now what we're going to do, we're going to hold it like this, and we are going to kind of smooth a lot of it out with the flap disc on the angle grinder. Alright, got that all taken care of with the flap disc. I'm pretty happy with that shape. I'm just going to true it up a little bit, but we are in the final stages, so what I'm going to do is take this apart, then we're going to just kind of polish both sides independently of one another because we've already established this shape, and I just want to basically break these edges a little bit. So, okay, so there we go. That is my first one, all polished up. It could probably use a little bit more, so maybe down the road I might take a Scotch-Brite wheel. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I might paint it, I might just leave it like this. Maybe I'll clear coat it, maybe I'll get it powder coated, or if I'm really feeling fancy, maybe I'll find someone to chrome plate it. Or maybe I'll see if I can do some DIY plating. But that's the first one. That is the other side that I haven't done yet, so you can see the difference. Really all I did was just break the edges and roll them out, and then kind of polish the inside with the flap disc. And that's pretty much the finished product. It needs a little bit more touch up, but as far as functionality, we're good to go. It has definitely come a long way. It's hard to believe that just an hour or so ago, this looked like this. Obviously, yeah. So You can do a lot with angle iron. You don't have to leave it looking like this. I could have just drilled some holes, put some bolts through it, called it a day, and had something that kind of functioned. But if you take a little time, you can shape it up, make it look pretty. So I'm going to finish up this side, then we're going to bolt them together and see what it looks like. Alright, there we go. Bolted down there, kind of open there. I got a bolt in there as a hinge. Eventually I'll replace that with both A higher quality bolt, and B, put a nylock nut on there. But there's our hinge doing hingy things. So now all I got to do is align the hood about where I want it. I want a nice little gap right there. Then we're going to mark our holes. And then we can drill those out and actually mount this hood. Alright, there we go. Hinge is on, bolted in. So let's see how it works. There we go. Alright, so I've got a lot more to do on the hood before it's ready to be a hood, but that's one step down, so I think I'm pretty good for today. Anyway, that's all for now. See you next time, and thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to make some custom hood hinges for the Alright, there we go.